in the United States District Court for the Western District of Texas Austin Division Jane Doe, as next friend of H.J., minor child of Brandon Jake, deceased, and Jane Doe, as next friend of Brandon Jake, deceased, plaintiffs, versus City of Burnet, Texas, and Russel Butler, defendants. Section Civil Action Number 120 CV00162 Preliminary Statement Plaintiff Jane Doe, as next friend of H.J., minor child of decedent Brandon Jake, and plaintiff Jane Doe, biological mother of Brandon Jake, deceased, plaintiffs, bring this action against the City of Burnet, Texas, for damages pursuant to 42 U.S.C. Section 1983 and Section 1088 and the 4th and 14th Amendments to the United States Constitution. Sergeant Butler made an unreasonable search and seizure of the person and vehicle of decedent Brandon Jake, violating his rights under the 4th and 14th Amendments to the United States Constitution, and ultimately, depriving him of his life. These constitutional violations were committed as a result of policies and customs of the City of Burnet, as well as the improper hire, inadequate training, and supervision of Sergeant Butler by the City of Burnet, Texas. The City of Burnet is liable under 42 U.S.C. Section 1983 for acting with deliberate indifference, thus breaching its duty to provide Sergeant Butler with adequate supervision and training regarding the reasonable use of force. Facts: in the early morning of March 27, 2019, Sergeant Butler responded to a loud noise complaint outside of a residence located at 308 S. McNeil Street, Burnet, Texas. Brandon Jake was sitting in a vehicle in front of the house at 308 S. McNeil Street playing music and visiting with his friend and owner of the house, Ms. Rose Ann Bales. Less than 2 minutes after Sergeant Butler arrived at the residence of Ms. Rose Ann Bales to investigate the alleged noise complaint, Brandon Jake was murdered. Upon information and belief, Sergeant Butler approached the vehicle without announcing his presence, drew his service weapon, and fired upon the occupants of the vehicle, striking and killing Brandon Jake as he sat in the front driver's seat of his vehicle. Similar to the event documented by YouTube user Taser Survivor on May 7, 2017, Sergeant Butler did not conduct a lawful traffic stop on March 27, 2019. Sergeant Butler failed to alert the occupants of the vehicle that a traffic stop and/or similar investigation of the vehicle was being conducted by the City of Burnet Police Department prior to escalating the situation and employing deadly force. In this instance, the unreasonable escalation resulted in Brandon Jake being shot to death through the front windshield of his vehicle. After an investigation by the Texas Rangers, a Burnet County grand jury indicted Sergeant Butler for first-degree murder and 3 counts of aggravated assault by a public servant, all of which are first-degree felony charges. See Exhibit A, Indictment of Russel Butler. Upon information and belief, Sergeant Butler's criminal case remains pending. The aforementioned customs and policies of the City of Burnet and the consequent misconduct of Sergeant Butler has resulted in several similar events and/or injuries, as detailed below. On May 7, 2017, Sergeant Butler initiated a traffic stop on the basis that the occupants of the vehicle failed to stop at a stop sign near their home. When the occupants of the vehicle pull into their own driveway and exit their car a few seconds later, Sergeant Butler approaches the driveway brandishing a taser at the driver and unnecessarily escalates the situation. In the documented video of the incident, Sergeant Butler admits that he suffers from post-traumatic stress syndrome. Despite this bizarre, documented instance of police misconduct and Sergeant Butler's on-camera admission of suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, the City of Burnet's policymakers allowed Sergeant Butler to continue to police its streets and did not call for additional and/or different training to protect the constitutional rights of its citizens.